All right, everybody, let's quickly start with our essay class today. I've got all kinds of essays and what structure that needs to be used. The outline part we will discuss for varied kinds of essays. And then inside each paragraph, what structure that needs to be maintained. And then I'll show you an essay where this is missing. And then for the rest 20-25 minutes, you're going to correct the essay that has mistakes and get the one-to-one feedback. Okay, so let's talk about this agree disagree essay. Pay more attention. This is a very common question type. A question, something of this sort, will definitely be there where they'll give you a question and ask you, do you agree or disagree? So agree disagree type usually will follow 4-paragraph structure. I'm telling you, don't use 5. 4-paragraph structure is more than enough. Para 1 will be intro, and what is important in the intro, you gotta tell your viewpoint. Do you agree or do you disagree? Do you like chocolate or you like ice creams? I like both. No, that option is not there. It's either of them that you will speak in the intro, along with some paraphrasing thing from the question. And then let's say you agreed in the first para. Second para, you have to explain why you agree. Third paragraph, also you need to explain why you agree. No disagree part. Disagree one line, you can line in para 3. Otherwise, do not have to explain the para 3 with disagreement, because you are not disagreeing, you are agreeing. Para 2, explain why you agree. Para 3, also explain why you agree. And para 4, summary of para 2 and 3. Whatever you have written in the para 2, summarize it in one line. Whatever you have written in para 3, summarize it in one line. That will be your conclusion. Any doubts? This would be your agree, disagree structure for any kind of agree, disagree question. There is no the partial agreement for this. You either agree or disagree. Instead of agreeing here, let's say you disagreed. Here also you will say why you disagree. Here also you will say why you disagree. Pay more attention. If you disagree, then both the paragraphs you explain why you disagree. If you agree, both the paragraph you explain why you agree. Don't mix because it's agree or disagree. Second is, to what extent do you agree or disagree? Whenever there is an extent comes, that means you can either agree, completely agree, or completely disagree. This follows the previous structure. But the third option is, I partially agree. That means in some cases I agree, in some cases I disagree. If you go with partial agreement, then 4-para structure, again you will use para 1, you will say partial agreement or partial disagreement. Now you can agree in the second para, disagree in the third para, fourth para, conclusion, which is summary of para 2 and the para 3. This is valid only when there is a question, to what extent. If there is no what extent, then you cannot agree, disagree here. It's either agree, agree, or disagree, disagree. Any doubts of? Irrespective of it, you will use 4-para structure only. Remember this, remember this, remember this. Any doubts so far? Advantage and disadvantages. Very simple. Again, 4-para structure. Para 1, you will talk few things from the topic and then say, this essay discusses the advantages and disadvantages in the following paragraph. Intro is over. Para 2, explain advantages. Para 3, explain disadvantages. Para 4, conclusion. So when you explain advantage or a disadvantage, you don't have to write 5 advantages, not required. One is required. Nakul, advantages is written. It's more than one. No, it doesn't work like that. One advantage is written is enough. One disadvantage is enough. But for whatever the advantage you write, you have to support it with some supporting ideas. Example. Here, supporting idea, example. Here, supporting idea, example. Let's say you talked about 2 advantages. So first advantage, supporting idea, example. Second advantage, supporting idea, example. You miss this supporting idea example to one of them, marks gone. Be very careful. So if you ask me, one advantage is more than enough. Don't have to write multiple advantages. You will only fall into your own trap. What people write, one advantage, second advantage, third advantage, fourth advantage, fifth. No marks for this. It's the narration, it's the coherence, cohesion that gives the mark. So whatever the main idea you write, you need supporting idea in 1 or 2 sentences, example in 2 or 3 sentences before you start another idea. Be very careful. Be very careful. So this is enough. Advantages one, but supporting idea, example. Disadvantages one, supporting idea, example. Then conclude. Para 2 summarize in one line, para 3 summarize in one line. Any doubt so far? That's about advantage and disadvantage. But what about advantage outweigh disadvantage? Outweigh is this, let's say there's a weighing machine. You put 1 kilo of potato, half kilo of onion, 1 kilo, half kilo. So 1 kilo will go down. So 1 kilo of potato outweighs half kilo of onion. It looks like if it balances like this, outweighs, outweighs. So here weight is all about its impact, not the number of advantages. I can put 100 onions here. I can put one small iron here. Iron will go down. Isn't it so? It is not about the number of advantages. Pay more attention. If the question is do advantage outweigh disadvantage, you will use a 4 para structure only. Para 1, introduction, where you give your viewpoint. Advantage outweigh disadvantage or disadvantage outweigh advantage. One of them you need to write. Pros outweigh cons. Pros is advantage, cons is disadvantage. Para 2, explain the impactful pros. If you say pros outweigh the cons, means let's say pros weigh 100 kg, cons weigh 10 kg. Now write an impactful advantage. One is enough, but that should weigh 100 kg. Then para 3, write a less impactful disadvantage, cons. One is enough, but it should weigh only 2 kg. One advantage, one disadvantage. One advantage, 100 kg weight, means impact should be big. One disadvantage, it's not a big disadvantage and all. In light disadvantage, there are some steps. If you follow this, that is not a disadvantage at all. Now 100 kg, 2 kg, 100 kg advantage will outweigh the disadvantage. I'm writing one advantage, one disadvantage only. You can write 5 disadvantages of 2 kg, 2 kg, 2 kg, 2 kg, 2 kg weight each. They're all less impact. Still, it is advantage outweigh disadvantage because one advantage is more impactful. Anyone didn't understand, feel free to let me know. It is not about adding more advantages or disadvantages. It is about adding the impact of the same. If advantage have more impact, then you say advantage outweigh disadvantage. If disadvantages have more impact, you say disadvantages outweigh advantage. So if you say advantage outweigh disadvantage, pro means advantage, con means disadvantage. Second para, you explain impactful advantage. Third para, you explain less impactful disadvantage. Fourth para, you say, and hence advantage outweigh disadvantage. Any doubts? Asdeep, any doubts? Rakesh, Srinivasan, Hina? Simple ones. This is the structure that needs to be used. Problem or causes and solutions. It could be problem causes effects, problem causes solution, problems and causes, problem solve. It could be problems and solution, causes and solution, could be anything. But whatever it is, the structure remains the same. 4 para structure. Para 1, introduction. This essay will talk about problems and solutions. This essay will talk about causes and solution. Cause is the root cause, the reason behind the problem. Problem means what problem it is causing. Some problem is happening. What is the cause behind it? Who is the reason why the problem is happening is the causes. If they ask you problem, write problem. If they ask you causes, write the root cause, why the problem is happening. Hope you are getting it. So para 1 intro. Para 2, whatever is there. Problem is there, you write problems. Causes is there, you write causes. Para 3, solutions. Conclusion. Para 2 summarize one line, para 3 summarize one line, write in the 4th line. Simple one, simple one, simple one. Any doubts, feel free to stop me. Discuss both the sides and give your opinion. See, whatever I'm discussing, the templates have already given inside the Google Drive, writing folder, 1.IELTS writing, inside the 7 dot templates. Templates covering these structures I have already given. Here I'm again revising it. If you want the templates already there, you just memorize it, follow it, things will fall in place. Okay. But here again, I'm explaining you in detail. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. So far, we studied only 4 paragraph structure for this kind of question. We follow 5 paragraph structure. Remember, discuss both the sides and give your opinion. Introduction, where you talk about this essay, we'll talk about both the sides and explain my opinion in detail. No need to give your opinion in intro, but write that your opinion will be followed very shortly. Part Paragraph 2, both the sides, right? Explain side 1. Para 3, explain side 2. Para 4, give your opinion. This don't merge it in conclusion in one line. No, your opinion should have the justification. Here, para 4, you have to give your opinion, one line opinion, and then supporting ideas in 1 or 2 lines. Please note that you need to add some supporting idea. Other opinion is not valid. Para 2, you talked about side 1. Para 3, you talked about side 2. Para 4, one line opinion. No, no, no. Para 4, direct conclusion people write. In that conclusion, my opinion is that. No, 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 no. Whatever the opinion you write, you have to mix both of them and say which side you tilt. Will you tilt towards side 1 or side 2? I tilt towards side 1. Why? Right in 2 or 3 sentences. So opinion would be max to max 2 to 3 to 4 sentences para. I want that this much big para. Never write this in one line in the conclusion. So once you do this, you have 3 para. All the 3 you have to summarize and write in conclusion. See, introduction and conclusion don't need to put your kidney into it. Introduction, for whatever the question, read the question and just paraphrase. Conclusion, whatever you've written above, para 2, para 3, or para 4, whatever is there, summarize in 2 sentences. That is conclusion. Any doubts? Feel free to let me know. When it's discuss both the sides and give opinion, giving opinion matters the most with respect to task response. So do not put that inside conclusion or somewhere inside it. No, separately you write it in a separate paragraph and don't write in one line. At least 2 3 sentences or 4 sentences is what I would suggest. It will not be too long, but yes, it will be too long. If the question type is this, it will be too long. Probably 330 words, 340 words, 350 words. It's okay. It will be too long, yes, because one more paragraph we are writing it, but we have to write at any cost. This at least in 2 or 3 sentences. All right, any doubts? So now, this is an outline of the boundary. Let's say you bought a land. What is the boundary of the land? What do you do for that? You put the fencing, correct? This is the fencing. Let's say this is the land. This is my land. Here, one more person is there, which I don't know. I don't care. This is the land. This is the fencing. That fencing we put now. Outline. Let's say from a distance, you're looking at an essay, how the essay should look like. Para 1, para 2, 3, 4, 5 is a conclusion. From outside, how it looks like. That is what we discussed. But inside the land, I want to build a house. Is getting it right. How should start from here? Then it should have like this. Then there should be some steps. Then it should have projection, something, then here. So this is inside the outline, means the structure inside this. The structure inside this. The structure inside this is different. Sorry, not the fluency, task response, coherence, cohesion, vocabulary, grammar. These 4 will be evaluated for any essay. This 9, this is 9, this is 9, this is 9, divided by 4. That will be your score. Vocabulary and grammar, they are not very strict. Everyone will get 7, 7.5 easily. Task response, if the idea is correct, will get. But this guy is the difficult guy. This guy is not very easy to get. This guy is the guy. For this guy to get 9 out of 9 or 7 out of 9 or 8 out of 9, inside the para 2, inside the para 3, you need a solid structure. So follow the template. What's the template videos? Here as well, I've explained the same. Inside para, each para 2 and para 3. This is the template that I need. Main idea. Firstly, directly talk about the main idea. Don't ever write. Firstly, there are many reasons for my viewpoint, and one of them rises from the fact not required. Directly bang on target. Second line, this is because. Whatever you wrote here, project it to the next line. Paraphrasing, supporting idea, one or two sentences. And once this is done, for instance, whatever the main idea you wrote, for that only you need to write example, not for some other example. This example, never write in one sentence. I repeat, never write an example in one sentence. Never write an example in one sentence. Make sure it is 2 or 3 sentences, because example is an instance. You have to, just like a rubber band, you have to stretch it. If you're not stretching it, then probably it is not an example at all. And then if you want, you can conclude. So this is one particular para. You write agree, disagree. If you're agreeing here, tell why you agree, support it, example, conclude. Advantage, disadvantage here, main advantage in one line. Why do you think it's an advantage? Supporting that. You have an example of that sort, write 2 or 3 sentences, conclude. Discuss both the sides and conclusion. First side. Why do you go towards first side? Why do you think the first side is correct? Main idea. Why? Supporting idea. I have an instance for the same example, conclusion. So idea is very simple. Whatever you write on the first line, that is the center. On this, you have to circle it. Supporting idea. On this only, you have to write example. There is one more idea here. This example should not be falling on this. This example should be falling on this only. Any doubt? So it means one main idea, whatever the ideas, whatever the things that you write next should surround around this idea only. Do not write for another idea. You write one more idea. After this is done, then one more idea. This is coherence cohesion. This is what decides your scores. Hope you're getting it. Hope you're getting it. Any doubt so far? So I've got a question. I want ideas for this question, please. Nowadays, there are a large number of coffee shops and fast food vendors on high streets and in town centers. Read the question carefully. Coffee, fast food, some burger, whatever. Where? High streets, main streets, and town centers. Why are there so many of these outlets? Any idea? Why there are so many outlets? Someone has to answer. Why do you think there are so many coffee shops or the fast food centers on the main road? Good one, Rakesh. Perfect, Fatima. High demand. Rakesh says it's a meeting place for young generation. Great. Not bad. Both ideas are good. And when you write that in the first line, second line, you need to think about supporting point and then example. Perfect. Growing, rising demand when nobody has time to cook. Husband is going to office, wife is going to this office. Where is the time to cook? Family itself is not in the place. Correct? Everyone is busy running here and there, no time at all. So that's the reason they go to the fast food and eat, because it is so easy to order them and eat them quickly. Need of the time. Yes, we can say that. Any of the things that logically fits is perfect. And what effect is this having on society? Any point? What effect is this having on society? Negative effects of health. Beautiful. Apart from that, Health is gone case. We can see a lot of young people dying of so many diseases. Correct? Hospitals are filled. The youngsters are not working effectively because of bad food. Any other things you guys can think of, Srinivasan, Rakesh? Something of that we can write. So now I will show you an essay that is written and I'll review and show you the mistake. Post that you guys will have to write the correct essay. So this is the question. No, Rakesh. Good ambience, snacks. Mm, no, fast food vendors may not be an ambience. It's just a small shop where people would love to just eat. Probably, yes, you can talk about good place to catch up as well. It's a correct idea. In recent times, pay more attention. Numerous coffee outlets and junk food shops. Don't use the junk food. It's okay. You can use fast food only, man. It's okay. No problem. In repeating the word, there is no problem. Numerous outlets and fast food shops are increasingly more in the metro cities. This essay will examine and emanate the possible views and their effect in the forthcoming paragraph. Emanate means to dig, to understand more the possible views and their effect. Why are there? Probably could have just say we'll examine and emanate the reasons behind the same, followed by their effect in upcoming paragraphs. Perfect. This is enough. Don't write a lot in the first paragraph. Getting it? So now we go to second paragraph. To begin with, for students, in order to continue their higher educational studies, they are forced. See, that's what this is already messy for students. In order to continue, they are forced to stay away from their hometown. Why, man? Oh, this is not a great idea. And parents to fulfill their dream studies at reputed university, forced to stay away from the hometown. This means the supporting idea. Managing their personal educational life together is very challenging without elders support. As a result, they do not have a proper guidance and time to cook at home. Due to this reason, they are depending on the fast food shops and coffee shops for their day-to-day diet requirements. See, this could have been written in a much beautiful way. Example is missing. This is stretching, not just like a rubber band, stretching the rubber band to 1 kilometer, not required. So, I mean, parents, in order to dream that this, it's not fitting in. Probably he could have written to begin with. These days, both the husband and wife are the breadwinners, and here time becomes the factor to cook food. This means they're so busy that they don't find time and they have to rely on the fast food, increasing its demand. For example, in metro cities like in India, or you can talk about your own country, most of the people go out to work, and the work is so hectic that they don't find time to actually cook. And due to this, they, like easily get attracted to the coffee shops and fast food vendors to quench their hunger. Done and dusted. This is what I need. Answer to the point. Main idea, supporting an example. Here it is not fitting in. Correct, right? This is not a great idea, but yes, could have been written better. So, like I've changed that as a result, they do not have proper EA guidance, you don't say, and time to cook at home. Due to this reason, they are depending on the fast food shops and coffee shops for this. This is fine to some extent. Now, the person wrote second idea. Now, second idea, whatever you write should have a structure. Main idea, supporting idea, Example. More working professional also rely on the outside street food shops. So why, boss? Examiner asks. She calls him. Tun, 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 tun. Hello, I read your essay, but you have not written why. He says, I don't want to write. She says, I then I'll not give you mark. He says, okay, it's okay. 6.56. He has to write, otherwise, don't write this point. No, why you are writing this point? Therefore, to manage the increasing demands more and more, this is not second idea is not clear. This is problem. And first is not a great idea. Second idea is a good idea, which has not been expanded like a rubber band. First idea is not a good idea, and he has expanded the first idea like a rubber band. What effect is this having on the society? This has a drastic effect, meaning the health of the individuals may become worse. Due to this, probably most of the people end up in hospitals at a very young age, leading to a less productivity in their work. For example, many youths and the old people have found, contracting the diseases at a very early age, which is irreversible, causing irreversible damage to their career. This not only affects their own career, it also affects the economy of the nation because many people are hospitalized and they are not able to give their best. This is the effect. That's all done. And you write like this 7.5 is possible. But let's see. That means what I'm talking about is don't just put the dots, connect them, connect them. Logically, it should be like a story. It should be like a story. Story will have the beginning, it will have a climax, it will have the hero, villain, everything scenario you have to explain. Let's see. On the other hand, the quality of the food and hygiene is compromised to make more money. Beautiful idea. As a result, supporting idea. More people suffer from various diseases like obesity, stomach ulcer, heart attack, and diabetes. Beautiful. For instance, he's writing good. A group of medical students conducted a survey, 100% cooking story. He is lying. How many of you agree he's lying? This you don't write. Survey example, don't write. Survey examples will not give you mark. Cooked up story. They conducted a survey and they found um, which shows 75% of the people are suffering from various illness due to bad food habits and leads to create a lifelong sickness. This is what he already wrote, heart attack or stomach ulcer. Same thing he wrote again. No. For instance, it has been observed in metropolitan cities that 70% of the people who consume this fast food will usually land up in many diseases due to this. It affects their career. At least 5 times a month or 6 times a month they'll be found hospitalized or they'll not be well taking leave. As a result, the and the productivity of the work gets hampered. As a result, the company will be in a loss, indirectly affecting the economy of the country. You write your own example. Don't say survey conducted sure 75% of the people are suffering. This is 100% cooking story. You cook, but cook the story in a way it should be, like believable. The 75% simply conducting a survey. Don't write. You write on your own. Till here, he wrote really good. The survey probably will not give him a good mark, so probably 6.5. Any doubts? So only 5 people are there. Many are not joining the class. I want all of you to write the second paragraph, meaning why there are so many outlets. Please write this first and send me the answer. Whatever you write, I need main idea, supporting idea, example in 2 or 3 sentences and conclusion if possible. Once you finish this, you send me here. You can text me in the chat option or you can write neatly in a paper and send me in a WhatsApp. I'll review and then you can take up the next paragraph. Let's start. No, Rakesh. No, no. This is not a good idea. Self employment has become passion. Once they become graduate, they open so that they are no, no, no. Don't try it this way. I would still suggest write in a way that time is the problem. Why there's a huge demand for this is people don't have time to prepare the food. Correct. So because of that, they rely on the fast food as fast food are readily available. It is less time consuming. Probably you could have written that way. Still, I would suggest. Fatima, I need second paragraph, right? The can and yes will not come. Can affect. Good one, Fatima. Very good. I'll check you now. No, Fatima, this is third. This you have written is third, right? See what effect you have written. I want why there are so many outlets. इतना outlets क्यों है लिखना है. See, one of the causes means due to. Again, don't write due to. This is because in the modern world, and find very less time to cook, depending more on such quick outlets. Now it is more clearer. For instance, very good for completing their projects. Perfect connector used as a result. Don't write ing multiple times. New generation do not have or lack. And don't use ing. Therefore, due to this growing demand for such street food, now it is more clearer. See, I'm giving a final touch. Otherwise, very good, Rakesh. Really appreciate it. Hina, I'll check 1 second. You are good, Hina. But this you have written is third paragraph, right? I wanted second paragraph, but third paragraph you've written really good. What effect is what you have written? That's a very good one, Hina. I'm not finding much of the issues. Sometimes folk has you have written folks suffer from various diseases due to such food. To clarify, as the trend going on about is going on. Instead, they preferred is wrong. Instead, they prefer, which is made very quickly, which creates health issues like obesity, cholesterol. For instance, a survey was conducted on 100 societies on young age people, which shows 90% are suffering from severe cardio issues. Probably you can remove survey and write, for example, in any metropolitan city, due to the easy access of such fast foods, many youngsters fall prey and use them on a regular basis. Due to this reason, at a very young age, their health would be affected, leading to reduced work and blah blah blah. In that way, you could have written instead of writing survey example. Otherwise, you're good. English is good. Really appreciate it. Second paragraph, please write. Whoever wrote third paragraph, please write second paragraph. Whoever wrote second paragraph, please write third paragraph. Fatima, this is an additional redundant line, not required. You can just remove this off. Giving rise to or leading to. Much time. What is much? What is much? Need to expand. Rest all perfect. Um, this probably could have been expanded further. For example, preparing food at home. You told they don't prepare food at all, no? Not required. So, for example, many people, again, in an IT field, many would be earning. As a result, they don't find time. On an average, weekly, they get only 1 day off. Due to this, instead of preparing home, which should have costed a lot of time, they prefer to buy the same food from the shop, which hardly cost any time. It is fine only. Probably this one line could have been added one more. Otherwise, you're good. Otherwise, you're good. Rakesh, you could start with on the other hand. We don't usually start with however. Excellent, exceptional point. The bonding is lost. Earlier, people we all used to sit together in a joint family and eat. Now, there's no time to eat that way because food is easily accessible. They go to shops and just eat. This is a good point, but I don't know why you're considering new generation. The question is not about new generation, but I'm glad you put that in the example. Correct. So here you have not taken that. So probably you could have written in a generic way. For example, due to um, the hectic work, it becomes very difficult for the families to have dinner together. And the increase of the fast food outlets and the coffee shop make it even more easier for people to, ignore the social bonding and, start having food quickly and to save time. Due to this, the bonding even more reduces and becomes weakened over the time. Something of this you could have written instead of focusing on the pocket money and youngsters. Probably that youngster was not required because the first two lines are not talking about youngsters. That is my point. Hope you're getting it. The first two lines, nobody have talked about youngsters. Just the Indian culture. Probably you could have talked about same Indian culture and how this fast food things are damaging it. Probably could have written it a little different way, especially example. Otherwise, you're good. The style of writing is good, Rakesh. I found it better. I found it good. All right, guys. So fine, we will park it here. Then others who are writing can Srinivasan and Hina can text me in the WhatsApp. It's already 7 past 5. With this, I'll park it here. Really appreciate the time. Please start writing every day. I'm not seeing much of the essays every day. Please start writing. It's unlimited feedback. It's really important you write every day and get the feedback. Fine, guys. With this, I'll park it here. Thanks much. We'll again be back on Tuesday. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Thanks much.